tech earnings are out, such as Microsoft and Google, and boy, are we off to a bang. We're going to get into exactly what's going on, what's causing Microsoft to drop 4%, what's causing Google to rally about 6%, what kind of effect this could have on our markets, as well as AMC stock, and, drumroll please, Fed Jerome Powell tomorrow. These things could have a big effect, and I hope you are ready for it. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to make money, which should be every single one of you guys. Should be hitting the like button right about now. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into all of this information. So, let's talk about AMC stock here briefly. AMC was down 12.5%, down almost 1% in after hours. 0.5%, 0.68%. Nothing happened today. Nothing happened. The stock sold off because it rallied yesterday. That's the simple fact of it. AMC doesn't tend to go in a straight line. And the other fact we should highlight is there has been hundreds of millions of shares trading hands, and more than half of that volume has been in dark pool trading. So there's obviously probably probable there's been a lot of manipulation that has also taken place in that market, as hedge funds and institutions are massively short and they cannot stand the beating that you are giving them. And probably going to continue. Now, it's not really a probably kind of thing, in my personal opinion. This will continue, but it's going to be a lot more volatile than a lot of us had hoped for. I even thought this would give you a much larger continuation move, but the things that are happening in the broader markets as well are definitely not helping AMC at all. A lot of your small and mid-cap stocks have been selling off, but now it's big tech's turn. Microsoft falling 4% in after hours, where Google is up 6%. This is quite opposite to what a lot of us would have expected. And this can help draw out some money of this market, right? And that can be a positive for anyone hoping for a short squeeze. A lot of institutional money has been invested in Microsoft, and Microsoft just gave markets not the guidance they were hoping to hear. Although it wasn't terrible guidance, it just wasn't what they were hoping to hear. So Azure revenue, well, not revenue, its growth was about 26%. Q1, it was 27%. So growth is slowing, but that didn't have the biggest effect on Microsoft. The biggest problem Microsoft is seeing is Windows is down big time. Windows is down 39% year over year. Down 28% quarter over quarter. Really bad numbers that we're seeing here. But Xbox content services also down about 12%. Windows commercial products plus cloud services also down about 3%. Office customer products plus cloud services down 2%. This is having a pretty negative impact to Microsoft. But the thing that really got Microsoft is the guidance. Azure growth should be 25 to 26% in constant currency in the fiscal first quarter, with 2 percentage points driving from AI services, Hood said, compared with 1 point in the fiscal fourth quarter. People were hoping to see AI really contribute to Microsoft earnings a lot more, especially after the news that we got that Microsoft will soon be adding an option for essentially ChatGPT on a monthly subscription service for $30 a month. And it doesn't look like you're getting the reassurance from guidance that that's going to have an impact to earnings, at least in the short term. Markets are very much short-term focused, so this is not the greatest thing the markets could have heard. Again, if you're someone that is only invested in AMC, you don't care about the broader markets, well, this can have a positive effect on AMC. When the money leaves Microsoft, when it leaves big tech names, it's going somewhere. Some of it can go to covering on short positions, as short sellers still are seeing some very big losses, especially in the options market. And it can also go into stocks such as AMC. The money can move around from big tech to smaller and mid-cap stocks. And that, to some degree, is what I expect tomorrow, especially with Fed Jerome Powell. Fed Jerome Powell comes in hot and heavy, guns ablazing at 2 p.m. tomorrow. The big story will be at 2:30 p.m. when Fed Jerome Powell gives us the press conference. Now, what this essentially is going to do, long story short, is you want to see how the Fed's language is around higher for longer. If the markets start to expect we could actually get some of these, cuts to interest rates a lot sooner than expectations, that is going to be a very good thing. That's going to be a, big deal. And that could push money into AMC as well as your small and mid cap stocks, especially the stocks that are growing or getting their, just better fundamentals. And AMC is definitely in that category of growth and fundamentals. Ever since the pandemic, when growth really, went super, super negative, AMC has been growing quite well, quarter after quarter after quarter, and especially what we have just gotten with Barbie and that, smashing box office expectations, that could be good for money flowing into AMC. So there is that, but as far as the main story, you're still getting a lot of this shorting activity. You're still seeing massive short positions being taken out, and that is not so good. 256 orders totaling $63 million with positive order value of 5%. Even after these options just got wiped out yesterday, and really on Friday as well, you're still seeing the same shit happening as you were seeing before. This really defies logic of what should be going on. Ultimately, probably a lot of manipulation, and this probably takes longer than a lot of us were expecting. So this is far from over, right? The judge technically did not rule that AMC could not do the reverse split. They just ruled the settlement could not be done as it was written. As AMC essentially has to go back to the drawing board. They went back to the drawing board. It was denied from the court. So as of right now, there's not really anything that is being said in courts. Obviously, AMC is probably trying to draw up something else, something better. But AMC wants to do it where shareholders will not have a say-so. They don't want to go through what we just went through. Months long of court proceedings to hear retail investors' claims of why this settlement should go through or not. They want to skip past that. And the judge doesn't. So either way you put it, this is going to take a long time. That's pretty much a certainty. And this is going to be a good thing for AMC stock. And for you guys that hold AMC. It's only a matter of time, especially when the cost to borrow fees are over 1,000%. Cost to borrow average sitting at 1,050%. Cost to borrow max? Well, that's even more. About 1,100%. Interactive brokers, over 1,000% cost to borrow fees. This, on top of everything else, is a massive problem for the hedge funds and institutions. Not to mention what we talked about in the last video with the Stonko tracker data as well, especially for August 18th. You're seeing over 1 million puts currently out the money for August 18th. Hundreds of thousands of puts that are in the money, and on the call side, a fraction of that. So as new money starts to flow back into AMC, as some shorts potentially start to cover on short positions, keep in mind, days to cover is over 8. Your short interest is 29%. The dollar amount sold short over $850 million. These are all big problems, and these all make holding AMC short positions an unprofitable trade. Like, they should have gotten out of these positions a very long time ago. But indeed, they have not, and they have taken this opportunity to load up again on their short positions. This is a losing proposition no matter which way you put it. It's going to take a little bit more time. Sure, maybe we don't like to hear that. We want everything instantaneously like people do, human nature. We don't want to wait for things. We want them now. Well, we might have to wait a little bit longer. And I would expect a lot of back and forth volatility. This is somewhat to be as expected. AMC down 12.5%. The day after, it rallies 33%. Same shit happened back here in May. Same thing. I mean, you would rally. We rallied back here May 13th, 24%. Next day rallied 2%. Next day rallied 7%. And then you fell 0.5%. You fell 9%. You fell another 1%. And then you fell another 4%. Back to back to back red days before you actually started to see some bigger moves towards the end of May and obviously into June. Look at these candles. Look at this volatility that you've seen. It was a pretty upward move, but especially in the beginning, it took some time to play out. So tomorrow is going to be big. I think every day is going to be big for AMC, and I expect these big moves to become a lot more frequent. And I think one of the best things, that if this has caused, is if you were someone that was not in some of the trades that you wanted to be in before this news was announced, before Friday, maybe you didn't have any trades in AMC. Maybe you wanted some options. Maybe you wanted some more exposure to an upside move in AMC. Well, now you have your chance to do so. Not recommending you guys do. It's obviously a better choice to just buy the stock than the options, but that is a door that has been opened for you. So there is all of that. I think that's the gist of, what you guys need to know. Shorts, they're losing their asses. Okay? And it's not going to end pretty for them. Let me know down below in the comment section, what do you guys think about all of this information? What do you think about Fed Jerome Powell tomorrow? And how is this going to affect our markets, guys? So that is it. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you in the next one.